What if everything you believe about right and wrong is just made up? Not by you necessarily, but by your society, your upbringing, your culture. What if morality, this compass we all rely on, isn't a universal truth but a human invention? Morality guides everything: our laws, our justice systems, our relationships. It tells us what is acceptable, what is good, what is evil. It punishes some actions and rewards others. But here's the uncomfortable question. Is it real in any objective sense? Or is it just something we agreed on? Throughout history, societies have disagreed on what's moral and what isn't. In some cultures, it was considered morally right to leave elderly people to die once they became a burden. In others, that would be considered unthinkably cruel. There was a time when slavery was not only accepted, but morally defended. Today, it's condemned almost universally. Oh, how do we make sense of that? How can something be moral in one era or culture and immoral in another? This brings us to the core challenge. How do we determine what is truly right or wrong in a world that's so morally divided? Is there a higher moral law that transcends time and culture? Or are we just improvising as we go? Philosophers have wrestled with this for centuries, and the answers aren't simple. Let's start with moral relativism. According to this view, morality is not fixed. It's shaped by cultural norms and personal perspectives. What's right in one society might be wrong in another, and both can be valid in their own context. Relativism offers tolerance and flexibility, but critics argue it can also excuse harmful practices. If morality is entirely relative, how do we ever say something is truly wrong, like genocide, slavery, or oppression? On the other hand, utilitarianism suggests we can judge morality objectively by measuring outcomes. The right thing to do is whatever produces the greatest good for the greatest number. This seems practical, straightforward. But what happens when maximizing happiness for many causes harm to a few? Is it okay to sacrifice one person to save five? What if those five are strangers and the one is someone you love? Now contrast that with deontological ethics, especially the ideas of Immanuel Kant. Kant argued that some actions are morally right regardless of consequences. Telling the truth, keeping promises, respecting human dignity. These are duties we must follow, no matter the cost. But this too has limits. What if telling the truth gets someone killed? Should we still do it just because it's our duty? Every theory opens a door and raises new problems. Let's ground this in a real-world scenario. Imagine a soldier in wartime. He kills enemy combatants and is praised as a hero. But if he did the same thing in peacetime, he'd be labeled a murdered SO. What changed? Not the act itself, but the context. The rules of engagement, the narrative of justice, the framing of us versus them. This example forces us to confront the instability of moral judgments. How much of our morality depends not on the act, but on how we frame it, or consider a more personal case. Lying to a child about a painful truth. Is it wrong to lie, or is it compassionate? One theory says yes, another says no, and your answer might shift depending on the situation. The deeper we go, the more we realize that morality is not a neat, fixed system. It's messy. It's shaped by history, power, empathy, fear, logic, love, and sometimes convenience. Where does that leave us? It leaves us with humility. Maybe we shouldn't be so quick to assume we have the moral high ground. Maybe morality isn't about finding absolute answers, but about constantly questioning our assumptions. Maybe being moral means being open to perspectives, to change, and to the idea that we might not always be right. What do you think? Is morality something we discover, or something we create? Is it written into the universe, or is it written by us? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to explore more philosophical questions like this, check out our next video, where we explore how Nietzsche challenged the very foundation of Western morality and why his ideas still matter today.